Hi, Fiona here from Reads and Eats. I'm here today to do my October wrap up. This is actually the 1st of November. I haven't managed to do it a bit earlier for various reasons, but that's fine. My first book, I actually did really well this month. I managed to read 9 books. So the first one I read was Emerald Green by Kirsten Gier. This is the final book in the time travel series, and I really enjoyed it. This really wrapped things up, and you learn more about the characters. You actually ended up actually liking the main characters more. Gideon, I actually ended up really liking. End up liking um, Paul and Lucy. I understood why they were doing what they did, and I thought it was a really good book, and it wrapped everything up really nicely. And I thought the concept of the whole trilogy was really good. The time travel and going, sort of having to learn about the different customs, etc., of the various times, etc., that the people went to was good. So yes, thoroughly enjoyed that. Another book I read this month was What I Tell You in the Dark by John Samuel. I have actually done a review for this, so I will leave the link for that down below. Yeah, I was sent this by Duckworth Books, so thank you very much. I actually asked for it to review it because I'd read a blurb about it on Goodreads, and it sounded really interesting. I wrote to them and asked, please may I have a copy to review, and they very kindly sent me to it. And it's all to do with an angel who inhabits a person's body, and you don't really know at times whether it's the angel that's talking or whether it's the actual person. So, but if you want to know more about it, my review is down below. But I actually really enjoyed it. Then I am very lucky enough to have been chosen to be part of Sarah Morgan's UK Readers Group, and as part of that you get sent her the number of books that she writes during the year for review. So the very first one I got was Christmas Ever After. This is the third of the Puffin Island trilogy. I hadn't read the other two, and you don't have to have done so for this book. It can be read as a standalone, and I loved it. It was so good. The description of the Cotswolds and of Puffin Island in the wintertime are beautiful. I just so want to go to Puffin Island. And the characters, again, I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed the situations they found themselves in, and how their misconceptions of each other were sort of blown out the way. So that was really good. Again, I've done a review for that. I will leave that in the down below so you can go see it if you want to. Carrying on my Harry Potter rereads, I read Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I think this has to be one of my favourite Harry Potter books in the whole series. I really like this one. I think the reason being is that Harry, Hermione and Ron are beginning to evolve more as characters, but also that Harry meets people who were friends with his mum and dad, like Lupin and Sirius. And I think that's really nice. It's nice for him to have a family tie, especially with Sirius being his godfather. I really like that because I don't particularly like the Dursleys. I don't think anybody does particularly like the Dursleys. And no, I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole idea of Sirius escaping from Azkaban, and sort of the Ministry of Magic saying to Harry, oh, it doesn't matter that you blew your aunt up. That really doesn't matter. That can happen whenever. And oh yes, I have a thing in my computer. It's just decided to chuck a pumpkin through the screen. That's fine. But no, I thought it was really well written, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Next book I read was Joanne M. Harris's The Gospel of Locke. This is to do with Norse mythology. I've never read anything to do with the Norse gods. I quite enjoyed this one. I'm kind of torn with it. I really enjoy Greek mythology, and I thought maybe I'd really like Norse one as well. I'm not sure because I don't know that I like the characters very much. Mind you, maybe you're not supposed to. I just felt it was very bitty, and Locke was... I didn't think him as a character was as developed as I'd want him to be. And I sort of didn't really know whether he was there because Lord Surt had decided this is what was wanting to happen, or was it Locke himself that decided he wanted to be, have a human aspect. I don't know. It was okay. I'm not raving about it. Next one I've read was Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell. this is my first Rainbow Rowell book, and I quite enjoyed it. I didn't see the twist as to who was doing the bullying of Eleanor at school. I liked the relationship between Eleanor and Park. I liked the fact that, you know, he was going out of his way to help her, even though he was kind of an outcast as well and a misfit, and she was even more so. I thought that was a really, really good thing to do and to write about. The bullying aspect, I have to say, was just like it brought back some memories that I didn't really want brought back. So that was that. Again, I'm not raving about it. I did enjoy it. If you liked it, let me know. I mean, I did like it, but whether I will read another Rainbow Rowell, maybe that was the wrong one to start with. I don't know. If you are a Rainbow Rowell fan and you're like, oh no, that was the wrong one to start with, please let me know down below which ones you think I should read, and I will give them a go. I read one on my Kindle, and that was called My Paper Heart by Morgan Vernon. This was a freebie on BookBub, and I really enjoyed it. It was really strange. It was to do with this a girl who is in university, is basically kicked out. We don't really know why. Is it because she wasn't working, or and if she wasn't working, why wasn't she working? You kind of got glimpses as to why she got chucked out. But her parents decide that the only thing for it is to send her down to her aunt in Louisiana, and she's like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm going away from everything, I'm away from my sorority friends and stuff like that. But as she's down there, she realizes that the person she is becoming when she's in Louisiana is the person she wants to be. That maybe being around her sorority sisters is not the best thing for her. Her mum actually agrees at one point, being in the sorority you're in is not the one for you. We shouldn't have pushed you into that one just because your sister and I were a member of it. We shouldn't have pushed you into that, which I thought was really good. It gives you the perspective that not just because your family are in a sorority doesn't mean that you have to be in the same one. And I like that idea. In the UK we don't have sororities, or I think they're just beginning to start in some of the universities. And I can see the benefits of them, but I can also see the drawbacks. And I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens in the UK. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good book. I also read The Two Faces of January by Patricia Highsmith. I had high hopes for this book because it looked and sounded really good. It sounded like a bit of an adventure story, and I didn't really like it. I just found the characters too banal. It was like, no, just wasn't for me, so I didn't enjoy it. And finally, I listened to The Marriage Risk by Debbie Maycomer as an audiobook. It was part of one that I had bought on Audible as a freebie, as a free trial, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just found the characters really funny and well developed, and the story plot was excellent as always. So those were the books I read this month. If you've read any of them, or if you have any suggestions of books that you think I like, please leave a comment down below. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, especially with my little pumpkin. He's only done it once, which I was a bit disappointed about. I thought he might do more, but never mind. And I will see you again soon with another video. Bye!